Hi everyone, Allison Roberts here from Kingston, Jamaica, and I am back with another tag. Tag means talk about grace. Today's tag theme is the handoff. As Jamaicans, we are heavily invested as an entire country from all levels in track and field. From basic school champs, prep champs, you have adults that are invested, cheering them on. But my thought is on like a relay team. Can you imagine the top sprinters from your team lined up against the best of the best in the world in any way or form for competition? And you have the baton, you are starting it off, and you run an excellent race. You know, you have the vision of the victory in mind, and you did your best and you run your excellent race. You have the baton in your hand. The next step is to hand it off to the next person. After you have handed off that baton to the next person, yes, you are still a part of the race, but it's no longer in your hands. I can imagine the nerves, you know, wanting to just be there with that person to push them, encourage them, wanting sometimes to take back the baton and finish the race by yourself. But you know that each person has a part to play. A lot of times in life, we are called to a place where, you know, we have to hand off that baton. And you know that the person you're handing it off to is qualified because they've made it this far to be a part of this team. You've seen them compete in other elements, and yet still we have that doubt. It's almost like you feel like nobody else can do it if you can't. And we need to break out of that. You know, God wants to take the baton from us and basically just bring us to victory. But a lot of us are holding on to that baton, not passing it, not releasing whatever it is in your life to God. And that leaves you at the first leg. You are at the first leg. If that baton is never passed, you will never complete that race, much less win the race, much less gain victory in the race. We know that God is able, and yet still we doubt that He will be able to take us through to the end of that race and give us the victory. Because when that baton is safe in your hands, you know what it takes to get it around. You know what it feels like. You know what moves to make to get it to the next level. And so you get a little comfortable with the baton in your hand. But if that baton stays in your hand, then you cannot move on to the next level. Because even when you think about it in the earthly realm, there are persons who God has called to work with you for the kingdom's sake, for kingdom goals, and you decide to hold on to that baton. That other person will not be able to carry out their leg of the race, do their part in whatever organization you're in, group you're in, whether it's a church or any other, you know, group that has a base in kingdom building. We know the plans of the Lord for us sometimes, and ultimately, you know that it is to really and truly preach the gospel so that, you know, all can be saved through Jesus Christ. And so when you know that there are times when you will need other persons to come alongside you and run that race, complete that mission, but some of us hold on to that baton because I know how I like it done, and if it's not done my way, it's not done well, and so we don't want to include other persons. But it's time to release that baton. You can have faith that God is able to enable them the same way He enables you for the mission. And so it is a teamwork thing. And in order for that race to continue, you have to let go. You have to hand off to the next person so that the race can continue. You will still have a role to play until the end of that race. You can cheer on that person. You can help to motivate them until that victory is won. And in the end, there will be that great celebration. So when you think of it, nothing in life is up to you alone. You know, God created us to work and live in community, and so you have to ensure that you are handing off the baton where it needs to be handed off, releasing what you need to release to God so that He can establish His will in and through you. You're not alone, and don't be afraid. The Lord will orchestrate it. You are not the ones ordering your step. So you holding on to whatever position, to whatever mission all by yourself, you will not be able to complete it. The Lord is the one that orders our steps, and that same God is the God of the next person once they submit to Him. And so, by faith, we can all work together so that the will of the Lord will be done in the earth. Have an awesome week. Let go and let God. Blessings, tag team.